Yes, greetings one and all. Dr. David Roots coming with another video. More information, more education. This one is on the 7 ways to detox your lymphatic system. Okay, I might end up talking about more than 7 ways, but this I'll start off with at least 7 ways to detox, use little air quotes, your lymphatic system. Now, first, let's talk about the lymphatic system and what the lymphatic system is. You don't hear many people talking about the lymphatic system. You probably definitely won't hear your doctor or GP, as they say in the UK, talking about the lymphatic system. And it's because it's a part of our system. You know, when we're in secondary school and primary school, they talk about the different systems of the body. Okay, so you have the respiratory system, cardiovascular system, um, reproductive system, so on and so on. You don't hear them mention the lymphatic system at all. Okay, but really, it's one of the most important. It's critical. It's not even most important. It's critical to the effective functioning of the body. And if you talk to doctors about it, you know, professional medical professionals, we should say, the knowledge of it is quite low. And even if they do have knowledge on it, their ability to understand how it's impacting your health and related to any of the things you might be seeing a doctor for, you'll find is quite low. So test it out. Ask your doctors and different people about it. But if they do understand what the lymphatic system is and it's important and how to maintain a healthy lymphatic system, then you probably got a very good doctor. The reason I put the whole detox in quote, because this word detox gets thrown around a lot. You know, people buy detox teas and they want to detox this and detox that, you know. But reality is detox comes from detoxification. And if you want to detoxify something, that means that there are so-called toxins in those, you know, in those particular areas. And a lot of the times I mean, for example, when we breathe in oxygen and our bodies respire and we produce carbon dioxide, that's a poison, you know, to our body that we don't need. So our body normally extricates it normally, you know, through the various processes of breathing out or there's other acid-base reactions that go on in the blood regarding carbon dioxide and so on and so on. But we tend to think of these toxins as some sort of foreign chemical that somehow found its way in our body, and that's not necessarily the case. Our bodies and our physiology and are undergoing thousands and thousands of chemical reactions every second. You know, every cell, and we have trillions of cells in our body, or billions, or whatever the number is, are each powerhouses, little factories that have chemical reactions going on, very complex chemical reactions going on, you know, by the second, the millisecond. So inevitably, you're going to have reactants and you're going to have products, meaning you're going to have waste products being produced. And these things can be called as toxins, but they're not toxins in the idea of that, you know, there are cases, of course, when through living we may consume things like heavy metals that go into our environment through our various industrial processes, things like mercury and chromium from the soil we may eat plants from and things like that. Of course, you know, there's toxins that come from vehicles. We have combustion, the combustion of coals, things like sulfur dioxide. There's toxins, don't get me wrong. However, generally, when we're talking about this idea of detox, we're really just talking about aiding the body's natural processes of removing waste. That's what detox is aiding the body's natural processes of removing waste. And this waste is a byproduct of the natural things, the natural reactions that are going on in the body. So we're going to talk about 7 ways to detox and to help detox your lymphatic system. Okay, and as we said, these things, your lymphatic system, what is it? It's a complementary system that runs alongside the circulatory system. So everywhere you have circulation of blood, you're going to have a complementary system of circulation of lymph. Okay, so lymph is the fluid that's carried in the lymphatic system. A good way to think about it is, rather in a house, you're going to have your plumbing, you're also going to have your drainage system. And that's what the lymphatic system is. It's the drainage system for when the waste products are produced by cells, in particular with the interstitial fluid, which is like in between the different cells and in the tissues. Where there's waste, you need a way to drain this waste. And how do you know if your lymphatic system is not functioning? Well, you can look at, for example, not functioning correctly. First of all, if you see issues with your body regarding the lymphatic system not functioning, that means it actually is functioning, because it's trying its best to remove particular waste products, but because it may be overloaded, is not able to remove them as quickly as it needs to. So you might see someone with a boil on their back that needs to be released, or for example, the skin has lots of pimples on the skin, so producing like the excess pus, basically, which is a sign of inflammation in the hair shaft. In the skin, you might see, for example, excess mucus being produced. So the lymphatic system is not able to remove it. Now, how does the lymphatic system remove this waste? Well, it removes it through the normal ways of how we remove waste, and that's through your urine, that's through your feces, okay? You can also remove waste, obviously, through the tissue-based parts of your body, meaning the mucous membrane, okay? So you might, feel your sinuses being clogged up, and you can spit out the mucus that is extracted by the lymphatic system. Okay, but please go and do your research on the lymphatic system. You can also check out my video on mucus. I'll put a link as well, where I go into detail about mucus, and why mucus is actually very important to understand. And mucus is not a bad thing. We need mucus in our body because mucus helps to protect our organs, our cells, and it also helps to trap the dirt and pathogens that may enter into our body. It contains lots of different chemicals that our cells need, but we need mucus that is at a healthy plasmatic level, okay? Because mucus is a form of plasma, and that mucus can change according to the pH of our body. So go and check my video out on mucus. So what are the ways that we can detox our lymphatic system? The first one, very important, we talk about this all the time in the health community. And let me put the disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor. This information is meant for educational and edutainment purposes. Okay, so go and do your own research. But the first one is drinking water. Okay, and I talk about this in the mucus because in the mucus video, we need mucus in our body, as we said just now. But the mucus needs to be not very viscous, meaning it needs to be thin and able to be to flow. Okay, and if mucus gets too thick, then it clogs you up. If it's too thin, then it's just going to run out. So water helps our circulatory system to maintain the correct viscosity, okay, the correct hydration level, so that it can flow effectively around our body and take oxygen to our bodies and remove carbon dioxide and carry nutrients. It's the same thing for the lymphatic system. We need water to hydrate that system, okay? So water is incredibly important in maintaining a healthy lymphatic system. It's obvious, isn't it? The lymphatic system runs through channels, okay? The lymph channels, and these lymph channels, just like our circulatory system, are made up of tissue, little tunnels and pipes and things like that made from tissue. And if those tissue are dehydrated, then effectively they're not going to be open. They're going to suck up the moisture because they're going to need the moisture for themselves, and they're not going to function very, very well. So drinking water and having adequate water is very important. And that's why I said, again, having adequate amounts of water, drinking before you get thirsty. And if you are thirsty, making sure that you're drinking water is important. But likewise, not overburdening your lymphatic system and your kidneys with the release of water by drinking too much water is important as well. Because when you look at my video on mucus, you'll find that mucus, the consistency of mucus changes based off of what we said about the pH, as well as the salt level in the fluids. And so if you have too much water, then that's also going to change the viscosity from being optimal. Okay, so listen to your body and then follow your body's advice on what you want to do. And if you drink water, realistically, you shouldn't be drinking anything but water when you need something to drink. I mean, I really don't drink anything but water. I have like oat milk, which is just really just water, to be honest. You might have some fruit juice from fruit itself, or if you really, feeling happy that day, you might juice some apples or something like that. But if you were living in nature, what else would you have to drink besides water? You're not going to have any of these, concentrated fruit juices and malts and wine and alcohol and things like that. But that's a whole nother story. So let's not get off the beaten track. So number one is drinking water. Number two, okay, this is 2 in 1, is eating more fruits and eating more vegetables. Now, the first part of this is obviously that fruits and vegetables contain a lot of water. Okay, so as your lymphatic system becomes healthier, expect to go to the toilet more. Okay, so it contains a lot of water. But also fruits and vegetables contain a lot of vitamins and minerals. Okay, vitamins, they say over here in the UK, that play a huge role in fighting and neutralizing things like what we call free radicals. So some of the different chemicals that the body's chemical processes creates as waste and that need to be removed from the body. Things like vitamin C and the different minerals are very important in this chemical reaction of neutralizing these negative, chemicals in the body. So eating fruits and vegetables, one is the hydration effect, two is the vitamin and mineral complexes within these fruits and vegetables that plays a role in fighting disease. Okay, and so providing those things can get to the lymphatic system. And three is the fiber. Okay, the fruits and vegetables contain lots and lots of fiber. Okay, so when you eat a fruit and vegetable, as it goes to your gut, meaning your intestines, your stomach, then your intestines, your small, then your large intestines, that fiber is going to act as naturalists like to say, like a broom. Okay, and that broom is going to sweep along the waste products that we don't want, that we want to remove from our body, and thereby taking that out, and you can defecate later, go to the toilet and remove that, as well as sweep along the sides of the tissue, gut tissue, and create more a benefit for absorption, better absorption into the gut. Because if you imagine, if you have impacted gut, you're not going to be able to absorb things in there. And most importantly, the fruits and vegetables act as food fuel for the microbiome. Okay, go and watch my video on the microbiome. You are your microbiome. You are the god of your microbiome. The fruits and vegetables are going to act as fuel for the healthy gut bacteria and the whole microbiome that you need. Okay, and these microbiome is not just the presence, but it's the chemicals that they make from the different enzymic reactions that they carry out themselves, that are they're incredibly beneficial. Like they are at the pyramid of what's going on in your body. All right, and so by eating fruits and vegetables, you basically are producing little soldiers that are going to produce the different chemicals that you need to make your lymphatic system supercharged. Okay. They are the ones that are going to make a lot of those vitamins and minerals that you are taking in, make them bioavailable. Okay, because most of the time you take in vitamins and minerals through supplements, it just goes right out. But when you're taking it in organic forms, it's the microbiome that's going to break those things down, create organic molecules from them, and then your body can uptake it and deploy them where necessary. Okay, so drinking water, eating fruits and vegetables, that's number 2. Number 3, obviously, I just spoke about it. Having a healthy digestion, healthy digestive processes in your body is key so that your lymphatic system can work effectively. Okay, if there's too much pressure on your lymphatic system, obviously, it's not going to drain properly. So when you have a healthy digestive system and a healthy core in general, okay, from not overeating, correct food combinations, okay, and obviously, as I just said, with the gut microbiome, then the lymphatic system can work more effectively. It's not strained because it's not trying to release a lot of toxins too quickly. It's not overloaded. Okay, really important. As we said, if the healthy digestive system is working, you're going to go to the toilet regularly. That means you're not going to be holding lots of waste in your gut, because the more you hold waste, is similar to having your rubbish, your trash out on a hot day in the sun. Okay, it's just going to create that microbiome that you do not want, the unfriendly microbiome. And what they do is they create a lot of byproducts like alcohols and things through anaerobic respiration that you do not want. They ferment, and you don't want that in your body. And this is why the food combinations is incredibly important as well. And food combination doesn't have to be, difficult. There's a lot of pseudoscience in regards to that, but instinctively that there are certain things that do not go together because they do not grow together. So why would you eat them together? Okay. And your body will tell you about that. So having a healthy digestive processes and making sure that your digestive system and your gut and your core is healthy is important for your lymphatic system. And you'll know if it's not healthy because you will see fat around your gut. You will have things like swelling in different places. Okay. You will have foul bowel movements, many different signs that your whole waste processes in your body is not working correctly. As we said, let's remind ourselves that the lymphatic system runs alongside the circulatory system. Okay, so where there's not good lymph flow, there's not going to be good circulation, and vice versa. All right, this is really important. So number 4, I think we're on, is fasting, and this links to the digestive processes. If you find that periodically it's very helpful to fast. Many ancient cultures fast. Ancient religious practices, they fast, whether it's Hindu, whether it's Buddhist, Islamic culture, Christian culture, they fast for a reason, and a lot of it's spiritual. But as we know, as above, so below. These things are spiritual because they also aid in physiological processes. Okay, so fasting can be a very positive way of allowing your digestive system to get back to balance by removing the activity level and allowing the gut basically to empty as much as possible. There will always be things in the gut, but it will help to regulate. And when you then finish your fast and you start putting back those healthy fruits and vegetables as the basis for what you're eating, you're going to find that you feel much better. Okay. And for those societies that do not have the spiritual systems of fasting, you'll notice they're going to have natural periods of fasting just due to seasonality. There are going to be times when certain foods are high and then certain foods are low. So for example, in Europe, I do a lot of farming and gardening. There's a time when there's, in springtime, at the end of summer, there's all of these apples. Okay, it's tons and tons of apples. There's a high time of apples, lots of fruits. And so if you were living in nature, you would find yourself eating a lot of that at that time. Okay. But in the springtime and the wintertime, you don't have that. So that's a natural time where you're not going to be eating as much of those things. You'll probably be eating maybe more fish or more, wild game or whatever if you were living in nature. So our body works in conjunction with the seasons to make sure that there are going to be natural times that we're going to fast. But obviously, in today's world where we have the industrialization of the food industry, then we have a tendency, we can easily overeat. And this will put stress on our lymphatic system. Not only do we overeat throughout the year, but we can overeat throughout the day. Okay, and there's obviously natural times when you shouldn't be eating. Late at night, there's the times when your body should be resting. So that's number 4 is fasting. Now, number 5 goes right along with this. Okay, it's kind of, I did these in a sequential order. Is the use of medicinal herbs. Again, a disclaimer, I am not a doctor. Okay, I'm a naturalist. I've lived a certain lifestyle for all of my life, and I'm sharing this information as education to others to benefit from. So using certain medicinal herbs can not only just help with your digestive system in general, but specifically on your lymphatic system. And some of these herbs are called detox herbs, things like cleavers, okay, burdock root, things like in the Caribbean, cerasee, or cerasee they call it, okay, aloe vera, things that tend to be bitter. There's this parable that we use in the islands, which is, and it's a biblical parable, but it says that if it's bitter for the stomach, it's good for the body. So many of the positive medicinal herbs, which can be used within the correct amount, correct dosage, correct times, can help to flush the lymphatic system, because when you have a bitter herb, they tend to have what's called alkaloids. All right, alkaloids, and that's where the bitterness comes from. And as I said, there's a correlation between mucus and pH. Go watch my video. And so mucus can tend to move, and the viscosity, meaning the thickness, can change due to the pH. And so if you're able to alter the body's pH, the body will self-regulate its pH, but when you consume certain herbs or certain alkaloids, it can change the physiology within our body and help to remove that mucus. And that mucus is not coming from anywhere. It's coming from the lymph. So for example, if I go and make some aloe water, I take the inside of an aloe leaf, and in the mornings I go and take that in some water and I drink that, I'll find I start to, it's an expectorant, meaning it's going to make you cough up, and you start to see mucus moving. Okay, so there are a lot of herbs like that, but it's not just the bitter herbs, and some of these are more powerful than others. Cascara sagrada. Some of them work complementary with the lymphatic system, the digestive system. So they may promote you having bowel movements and thereby help, as we said earlier on. Okay, some of them can be carminatives like mints and licorice and things like that, and have anti-inflammatory impacts as well. And some of them, for example, just like lemon juice and, making lemon juice tea and orange peel tea and things like that, contain vitamin C, and they're going to help in the ways we spoke about earlier. So medicinal herbs are very powerful and focused ways. If you really want to focus in, maybe you're fasting and you want to focus in on helping to clear your lymphatic system, but don't overdo it. And if you don't know what to do, make sure that you're using certain books like this one. This is my book. It's as well used now. This is Back to Eden, one of the classic books. I think here's the cover here, Back to Eden. A book is well used when it's like that. Have lots of other books on health and wellness, and they talks about the proper use of medicinal herbs. So that's number 5. Number 6, the 7 ways to detox your lymphatic system. These are 3 ways in one. Okay, stretching, massage, and dry brushing. Okay, you probably heard of the first two. Some of you may not have heard of the third one. So stretching, what stretching is important for is obviously if you have tight muscles, people stretch. But stretching, even if you're not, big into exercise and so on and so on, also what stretching does, it's going to lengthen and open the channels in your body. Okay, because as we said, the muscles, for example, are fed by blood. And if you have blood there, we have lymph there as well. So when you stretch and open the tissues of your body, it's going to allow better flow and healthier flow, okay, of your lymphatic system. The same thing is for massage. Let's say you cannot stretch because you have some issues with your joints, which is probably related, or with your muscles, probably related to your lymphatic system not functioning properly, then that's where massage comes in. Massage is just stretching the muscles and the tissues by the use of someone's manipulation. So massage is incredibly important, and it can be used to help to clear blockages of the lymphatic system. And good masseuses always know that they massage towards the heart. They say massage towards the heart. Sorry, is it towards or away? The masseuses, please put down below. I'm trying to remember. I think it's away. I think that feels better. Yeah, away from the heart. So the masseuses who are top masseuses, put down below in the comments the correct way to massage. I'm pretty sure it's away from the heart. Okay, but massage is really important. Now, dry skin brushing takes this to a whole nother level, and dry skin brushing is exactly what it says it is. You use a brush like made from natural polymers, natural materials, like a loofah brush, okay, which comes from basically a plant. So it's like plant fiber, and you could brush your skin because the lymphatic system and the lymph, there's a huge channels of it underneath the skin. Remember, your skin is one of the largest excretory organs. Okay, so there's a lot of waste that comes from our skin, our pores. So the lymph runs in conjunction across the whole body in relationship, in a symbiotic relationship with the skin. So when you brush the skin, okay, and you remove dead skin cells, that is going to stimulate obviously new cell growth, but it's also going to create movement, okay, along the lymphatic system, and as well as promote circulation as well. Okay, so dry skin brushing, maybe I have to do a video on the techniques of dry skin brushing, can be complementary to, as we said, the stretching, the massage. Okay, and just washing, proper hygiene in general, isn't it? When you go and wash, and you have a cloth made from some material, and you're washing your skin, okay, and using that pressure, that's also going to do it. But dry skin brushing helps to remove a lot of the dead skin cells that may not come off with that. So make sure you look that up. And then of course you have to hydrate your skin afterwards and make sure you're treating it properly with correct oils, because if your skin cells are not healthy and function properly, then they are not going to function effectively and complementary with the lymphatic system. And the last one, number 7, okay, which is one of my favorites, and I put a post up today, and I said 99% of all mental and physical problems, of disease in the body can probably be helped by this, is exercise. Exercise is key for promoting good health in general, as well as the health of your lymphatic system. Okay, yes, exercise can make your muscles stiff, make you have little joint pains here and there, so on and so on. Yeah, no pain, no gain. But the benefits of exercise on your circulation, as your heart starts to pump more, and it pushes the blood around your body and increases your blood pressure, so that the blood flow and that healthy oxygen can get to parts of your body that it may not have gotten to if you weren't exercising. removal of the waste products like the carbon dioxide, as well as the waste products, other waste products from respiration, okay, from the food you eat, basically. Removal of the pathogens by creating pressure and pumps to push fluids, okay, waste fluid into the lymphatic system. Depending on whatever exercise you're doing, whether it's running, whether it's, climbing, swimming, moving your joints, exercise is going to create that powerful flex within your lymphatic system and your circulatory system. They work hand in hand. That's incredibly important to help you to so-called detox your lymphatic system. Okay, and of course, when you exercise, your body produces healthy hormones that make you feel good. If you feel good, you're going to think better. Everything is going to work in symbiosis, and just make you feel better. Okay, so take care of your lymphatic system, take care of your circulatory system, take care of all of the systems of your body, your endocrine system. We learn all these things in primary school, but then they stop it there. Do our teachers really know how we can help all of those different things, those different systems of the body? Probably not as much as they could. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment down below, like the video, share the video, leave a comment on what you think about the content of this video. And of course, for all of the masseuses out there, what's the correct way to massage? We'd love to have one of you on my show. This is Dr. David Roots, Habibi. Okay, give thanks.